Oktoberfest, we know that happens in the fall. There's a German spring tradition too. This thing, it's called Maifest.
Some of the activities and features you might be familiar with, but some stuff will surely be new to you as it was to us, namely beer poking.
Yes, we're learning all about this morning. Frank Freihaut, he's the president of the German American Society in Omaha. Good to see you, Frank.
As soon as I said that, I could see you chuckling
Love
over
it.
there.
Of course. The beer poking goes with the beer, and the spring beers, a lot of times they're more malty, have a little more sugar content, and so you put that hot rod in there, caramelizes that, gives it a little bit different flavor.
Like a fire poker.
Yep, a hot steel rod
Fired
that
up.
comes out of the fire, yeah.
Well, let's dive into that because you brought in some things that we'll talk about in a second here. But Maifest, this is a tradition. It's so rich in many ways. Explain what it is, Maifest.
Well, it's a traditional German spring festival all over Europe that celebrate spring, the warmer weather coming and getting the crops in and everything. And so the tradition with the traditional Maibaum, a lot of towns would spruce up their Maibaum and put all the shields of the different trades. Of course, ours has all our different sub-organizations come out and say are over 40-foot tall.
And that was it that we
Maibaum.
saw in that previous picture, I think.
Yep. And of course, the Maypole dance, we'll be doing that, the 4 to 5:30 hours. You get to see the folk dancers and singers. So a lot of good entertainment at Maifest.
Okay, we also have live music.
Live music, Shealytown Polka Band will be playing along with the singers and dancers, and so a lot of good stuff.
Mike, I'm going to leave this next question for you.
Which question? The food question? Well, I didn't know if it was the beer question or the food question, because they're both good questions. But let's talk about food, and then we'll get to the beer.
Sure, food, great bratwurst, of course, and our Verse Club has made the brats. They're fantastic.
The what club?
Our Verse Club. They actually make bratwurst. They make other sausages. So fantastic bratwurst. We also have Leberkäse, which is a pork and beef meat. And then, of course, the sauerkraut, German torts, a lot of good food.
It's all authentic.
All authentic.
All handmade. That's where you guys take a lot of pride in serving that up and introducing that part of your culture to people who aren't familiar with it. I know that's one of the ways people get into learning more. And then the beer. So you mentioned beer poking, and I don't know if we have a picture of the idea, because when you were talking and I'm envisioning, like, is it a vat? It's just the mug, and then you put the poker down in each individual serving to caramelize it.
Right.
Okay, so that's
What does
beer
that
poking.
do? So what do you do? Is it a hot rod?
It's a hot steel rod, and it brings out
Makes
the
it
sugar
sweet.
content a little more, a little more caramelization of that beer.
How long do you have to wait before you can
Very
drink
quick.
it?
It's very quick,
Seconds?
because your beer is
Just a few seconds?
Yeah, just a few seconds.
Okay, and then you brought some pellets in. And
Well, this is the
sort of-
500th anniversary of the oldest food purity law in existence, the Reinheitsgebot, which is the German beer purity law, that you couldn't make beer unless you had the hops, the grain, which is usually barley malt.
So this is the grain,
and
right?
then the water. And those were the three main ingredients when the law was first came about. And so it kept beer pure. As it grew, they didn't know about the yeast. The yeast kind of came natural. And so that was added, and then later other types of grains were added. So it keeps the beer very pure, and that's why most of the German beers are the best beers out there.
They're so strict on their quality, though, weren't they? The standards?
Sure, and so you didn't have people making it out of wood chips, and some people use dandelions for flavor and whatnot. Instead, you had the good hops that gave it that nice little tang compared to the sugary content of the malt.
So what kind of beer are you serving at Maifest?
We have quite a variety, a lot of German beers from Germany, and also some of the local beers. We've even got a Maibach that our Brewers Club developed the recipe and is brewed in conjunction with Upstream Brewery. So we'll have that there today, Saturday.
Don't go today.
So you got your own recipe?
They're not
You got
ready
your own
yet.
beer recipe?
Yep, the Brewers Club comes with some great recipes, and so we'll be serving that. In fact, at 1:30 is the traditional keg tapping, so you'll have to come out for that, because when that keg is free while it's there, so come out and get a free beer.
Explain that. Explain the concept, the tapping of the keg. It's kind of a tradition, isn't it?
Sure, it's a ceremonial. The brewers have actually brewed a wonderful Maibach beer, and they'll tap that keg at 1:30, and the tradition is we have a dignitary, somebody local, or maybe me, the president, will have somebody tap that keg, and then people line up and kind of start the festival. Although we open at 11, that'll be at 1:30 is the keg tapping.
So Frank, when you're here, we always love to talk about what you're wearing. We have about a minute. Would you just tell us about the significance of some of the things, some of the patches, the fabrics, the work that put into this?
Sure, you'll get to see folks dressed up in Tracht, the traditional German outfits. So this is the Lederhosen. I'm wearing the belt with the Auerhahn. Auerhahn is the kind of a German wild chicken, so to speak. And that's the tradition is that's the dancing that we do, the Bavarian dance, and is mimicking the chicken doing the dance.
So that's your belt.
Right.
And then what's the piece, the plaque across your chest?
The Kirsteg, that's our cross piece on the Hosenträger, and this one is St. Cecilia's. The tradition in Bavaria is you put something significant to your club. So our blessings, we're at St. Cecilia, so that's here since we're from Omaha. So that's right here at St. Cecilia's.
That's nice,
That's cool.
Frank.
And then the shoes, though. I mean, those shoes, Are they dancing shoes?
Right, these are the Miesbacher dancing shoes, and they've got the metal cleat, and so that's for walking on good cobblestones.
And you
doing
dance,
good
'cause
dance.
He's a
We've seen you do
dancer.
it.
No, he's a dancer. Well, you got to dance next time you come on. You always
There
come
you
on
go.
the show. You always talk about the beer and the food. You talk about the dancing, but you don't do the dancing. I want to see.
Got to
the
come
dance.
out and see us then at Saturday from 4 to 5:30. We'll be out
That's
there
when you're
dancing.
dancing,
and
but
singing.
it's a 12-hour event.
Yep,
I mean,
we're
it's
open 11
all
to
day.
11,
But the
and
cake
band is
tap, and if
playing.
you want a free beer, that's
Come
1:30.
on out.
What's the party like at about 10 o'clock at night? What's the crowd like?
Well, Maifest gets a little slower than our German Day Oktoberfest, so hopefully we'll
Okay.
still have a good crowd, but it'll probably be winding down by then.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but they're not toilet paper in the neighborhood.
No, no,
Behind
no,
the
no.
German
We're
American
good
Society.
friends to our
Right.
neighbors.
You're not streaking the quads,
No,
are you?
that's we showed you a
Well,
number. There's a
GermanAmericanSociety.org
On
is a
that
website
note.
that you can go to.
Oh,
Thanks,
Frank,
Frank.
you're
Good to
such
see
a
you, buddy.
good sport.
He is.
Thank you, Frank. Have a great weekend, okay?
You too.
Thank